Rise up, Rapids. I'm Coach Jonathan. I just wanted to chat with you a little bit, share a few stories from the Nova Halloween Haunt Meet that we had. This is a very unique competition for us because unlike some of the other meets where you can swim any race you want, there are actually some limitations that were on this meet. So it's essentially was a BB and below meet, meaning if you have an A time in an event, you can't swim it. That's great. We love those meets because what it ends up allowing our athletes to do is try some developing events, see if they can improve some of their off strokes. It also gives some of our swimmers who are maybe new to the sport or new to year-round swimming an opportunity to try and come in and swim some of the races without any of the fear of having to go against, the big, bad, crazy fast kids or something like that. I'm really proud of the athletes for going after some new races. In particular, one thing that stood out was swimmers who were trying new races. We had a lot of athletes do the 500 free for the first time or the 200 butterfly for the first time. We had swimmers ranging from young swimmers that are 8, 9, 10-year-olds that were just swimming their first USA swimming meet. And it was a great opportunity for them to do it because it was just a really welcoming environment. For those of you who haven't been on the Nova pool deck for a swim meet, the swimmers are actually kind of right up on top of, the parents are actually right up on top of the swimmers. And we set that up on purpose. We try to get specific bleachers to make sure that we got a front row view and we can all kind of get supportive behind each other. And we do that. So we had swimmers from young ones that were learning how to swim at these meets for the first time ever. We even had some older swimmers who came in who were maybe nervous about swimming in the race for the first time because they weren't sure what to expect. Maybe they worked it up in their heads. And we have some really exciting situations where the swimmers came and overcome that, and they got really excited to race, and they overcame those fears. And it was a really awesome moment. Some other really cool things that we had. Let's give a shout out to a young man named Lucian Smith. Lucian swims on our age group program. He loves his breaststroke, and he was swimming the 50 breaststroke. Now at this meet, the 11-12 girls were in the later session, right? So normally you would go 11-12 girls, then 11-12 boys, then 11-12 girls, then 11-12 boys. Well, in this case, the 50 breaststroke and the 200 breaststroke, which Lucian was trying for the first time, happened to be in back-to-back races. Not back-to-back events with like 10 minutes, back-to-back races. So he finished the 50 breaststroke, literally hopped right back up on the block, and the officials recognized it, maybe gave him about an extra 30 seconds to catch his breath, and he dove in to do his first ever 200 breaststroke, which could have been a scary moment. So Lucian goes through, and he's swimming, he looks great. He gets to that third 50 of the 200, and he starts going, and we're like, oh man, I wonder if he thinks this is the end, and he stops. And he's got 2 more laps to go. And everybody thinks, oh, well, Lucian, just miscounted, which happens to literally every swimmer at some point in their career. But then he sat on the wall and kind of caught himself, and then he took off and raced another 50 at the end. I talked to him afterwards. I was like, so did you just think that you were done and you forgot you had 2 more? He's like, no, I actually felt like I was going to throw up. But in spite of that, like a lot of kids would have just got out and they'd been like, you know what, this is a little too much for me. He didn't. He just sat there for a few seconds, caught his breath, even though he felt ill, and actually ended up having a really great swim. So kudos, Lucian, on your great swim. That was a remarkable moment. We also had a young girl in the 8 and under group. Her name is Reese Smith. Now Reese was swimming in I believe it was her first USA swimming meet. She's had a really good summer league career, and she was swimming so fast that we joked about her, swimming fast across the pool like a flash of lightning. And so that's where she actually earned her nickname, Reese Lightning. And she didn't really know anything about the Grease movies. I said, you need to go to watch the Grease movies. And then Mom and I were thinking, maybe we don't want to hold off on letting the 8-year-old watch the Grease movies, but we decided to settle on let her watch the Grease Lightning song on YouTube. So if you ever see Reese Smith and you want to say good luck to her, say go Reese Lightning go, and she'll be excited. Speaking of the 8 and unders, one of my favorite moments of the weekend, like I said earlier, we had the parents just sitting right up on the stands, right up on the pool, and it was great because I could turn around, chat with the parents, talk them through the races, because a lot of times at other pools they're stuck up in the stands and they don't really know what's going on. So it's nice to get to talk the parents through But what it also brought was a lot more excitement into the competition. So I call them our rowdy 8 and under parents. Our 8 and under parents were cheering, and they were like doing group cheers, and they're getting all excited and stuff. And that's the type of stuff that we love to see. Obviously, we always want to be respectful when we're getting rowdy in the stands, but that was definitely the case. We had a lot of fun. So anyway, if you missed the meet, I hope you enjoyed our recap a little bit. Take a moment to read through all the highlights from the performances of the meet, and we look forward to filling you in on the feeding frenzy coming up next. Thanks again.